Imagine a place where the roar of 100,000 voices could shake the very foundations of the world. Picture the sun, a blazing eye in the Italian sky, beating down on an arena floor stained with history. This is not just a ruin, it is a portal. A gateway to a time when gods, mortals, emperors, and slaves, the gods, mortals, emperors, slaves. We call it the Colosseum, but its true name is the Flavian Amphitheater. It stands today in the heart of Rome, a silent giant. What really happened within these walls? What secrets are held by the stones that have witnessed empires rise and fall? The answers are not just in our history books, they are etched into the very fabric of this legendary structure. Today we see arches, broken tiers, a skeleton of what once was, but close your eyes, listen, you can almost hear it, the clash of steel on steel, the collective gasp of the crowd, the emperor's thumb turning up or down, deciding a man's fate in a heartbeat. Our story starts not with a stone, but with a tyrant, the Emperor Nero. His reign was one of excess, of fire, and of a golden palace so vast it swallowed the heart of Rome. After his fall, the city was wounded, distrustful of its leaders. A new dynasty, the Flavians, rose to power. The first of them, Vespasian, knew he needed to heal the city. He needed a grand gesture. He decided to give the land stolen by Nero back to the people. On the site of Nero's private lake, he would build the greatest amphitheater the world had ever seen, a gift, but also a statement. The construction began in the year 72 AD. It was a project of immense scale, a challenge of engineering that pushed the limits of human ingenuity. Think about it. There were no power tools, no cranes as we know them, there was only human and animal strength. Tens of thousands of slaves, many of them captives from the Jewish war, were put to work. They quarried over 100,000 cubic meters of travertine stone, moving massive blocks from Tivoli, 20 miles away. They mixed Roman concrete, a miracle material that allowed them to create the soaring arches and vaults. The Colosseum did not simply rise from the ground, it was willed into existence by the sheer force of imperial command and the sweat of countless forgotten souls. Vespasian did not live to see his masterpiece completed. The honor fell to his son Titus, who inaugurated the arena in 80 AD with a spectacle that history would never forget. For 100 days and 100 nights, Rome celebrated. The games were a dizzying display of wealth and power. Thousands of wild animals, lions, elephants, crocodiles, were hunted and slaughtered in the arena. Gladiators fought to the death in meticulously choreographed duels. Step inside. The noise is the first thing that hits you. A deafening roar from 50,000 spectators, a wave of sound that crashes down into the arena. The air is thick with anticipation. The morning's events have concluded. Venaciones left the sand dark and damp. Now the main event is about to begin. Trumpets blare, a hush falls, all eyes turn to the Pampa. Gladiators parade in elaborate armor, muscles gleaming under the sun. They stop before the imperial box, raise their right arms in salute, utter the words Ave Imperator Morituri te salutant. The gladiators were the superstars of their day, slaves, prisoners of war, condemned criminals, but a few were free volunteers. Their lives were brutal and often short, but within the Colosseum's walls they could achieve a level of celebrity unknown to common citizens. Each gladiator had a specialty: retiarius, net and trident; secutor, heavy shield and sword; murmillo, fish-crested helmet. These were not just random brawls, they were carefully matched duels between distinct fighting styles, a deadly ballet for the entertainment of thousands. But the games were not only about gladiators. The midday executions were a grim part of the daily schedule. Criminals and enemies of the state were put to death in cruel and inventive ways, often staged as reenactments of famous myths. For the common Roman, a day at the Colosseum was an escape. It was free. The state often provided bread and other tokens to the crowd. It was a social event, a place to see and be seen, to gamble on the outcome of a fight, to cheer for a hero and curse a villain. For a few hours they were all Romans together, united by the shared experience of blood and sand, participants in the grand, violent drama of their empire. It was the ultimate reality show, and its script was written in real blood. The stories that poured out of the Colosseum are as grand and enduring as the structure itself. They are a mixture of myth, propaganda, and historical fact woven so tightly together that it is often difficult to tell them apart. One of the most pervasive legends is that of the Colosseum being flooded for epic naval battles, or naumachia. Imagine the sight: the entire arena floor transformed into a lake with scaled-down warships clashing, oars splashing, men fighting and drowning for the crowd's amusement. While historical accounts from the poet Martial confirm this happened at the inauguration games, it was likely an incredibly complex and rare event. Then there is the myth of the Christian martyrs. For centuries, the Colosseum was seen as a sacred site where countless Christians were thrown to the lions for their faith. This image is powerful, a symbol of faith against tyranny. However, modern historians have found little to no direct evidence that mass martyrdoms of Christians took place inside the Colosseum itself. The Colosseum became associated with martyrdom much later, during the Middle Ages, when it was consecrated by the Church. Let's talk about the Emperor Commodus, a ruler who broke all imperial protocol. Unlike other emperors who were content to watch from their box, Commodus craved the glory of the gladiator. Of course, his bouts were carefully staged. He would face off against poorly armed gladiators or frightened animals, ensuring his victory every time. For the Roman elite, this was a profound disgrace. The emperor was lowering himself to the status of a slave, a performer. Perhaps the most fascinating truth is hidden beneath the arena floor, the hypogeum. This was the Colosseum's backstage, a two-level subterranean network of tunnels, passages, and cells that was added after the initial construction. For nearly 400 years the games continued, but empires, like all things, must eventually fade. The great arena fell silent. The roars of the crowd were replaced by the whisper of the wind. The rediscovery began during the Renaissance. Artists and architects sketched the ruin. In the 18th and 19th centuries, archaeologists excavated it. They uncovered the hypogeum. Today, the Colosseum is more than a tourist attraction. It is a scar on the face of history. When we stand before it, we stand at a crossroads of human nature, creation and destruction together. The Colosseum's shadow stretches across 2 millennia, and its echo has not faded yet.